Happy Monday. This is Morning Lives with me, Melissa Agnes. I'm very glad you're here. This is a daily space. I show up every weekday morning that I'm not traveling at 9 a.m. Eastern, live on LinkedIn and IG to support leaders just like you in staying grounded and connected to things like your inner strength, your inner resilience, your calm, your equanimity, clarity, vision, all the things that you need to lead and move the mountains that you are here moving. I see your comments coming in. I apologize. It got me distracted. Shauna, I want to hear how you're in Mexico now. So I apologize. So if you are doing work that matters, which you are, and you are looking for support in things like leading from unwavering steadiness, even when all of the ground around you feels like it's wobbly, or all of the people around you or the situations feel like they are wobbly, you can find that inner steadiness. You can find increased clarity even when there are so many unknowns all around and so many unanswered questions that people look to you as the leader to answer. There are ways to tap in and find increased clarity in those moments, and ultimately deeper connection. Connection to you, connection to the divine, source, creator, co-creator, quantum, universe, God, whatever name, word you want to put to it. And of course, connection to those you are leading. So if those are things that you're like, yeah, I could benefit from more of that, from strengthening those skills, then that is why I show up every single weekday that I'm not traveling. And I say that with intention because I'm about to be traveling for like 10 days. But I'm here this week through Thursday, and I will be here 9 a.m. Eastern to do this with you. So essentially what I do every morning is I share about 10 minutes of a concept, a perspective, a thought, something meant to inspire and to ground and to widen perspective, which I think is so important. And then we do a coherence drop-in where you get to connect with your body, you get to get out of the chaos that exists in our minds and get into clarity, get into coherence, heart-brain coherence, which means a regulated nervous system, so that you can lead into the rest of your day with that clarity, with that connection, with that alignment that I just mentioned. So if you have questions and comments as we go about this, please share them in the chats. I'm here whenever I'm looking to my right. I am looking at your comments and questions, so I always love receiving those. And if this is supportive to you, my ask is that you share it. Share it with somebody who would benefit from these morning lives as well. So the thing that I want to talk about today, which is a really interesting concept in my opinion, and it's very, very supportive, is in our Western culture, we tend to identify with our emotions. And whether we do that consciously or unconsciously, we do it with our language. And as we know, language matters. Your thoughts matter, your emotions matter, and all of those are interconnected, right? Your belief systems, all of those things are interconnected. And so I was thinking about kind of like how Western culture, especially, how we tend to look at how we feel and create an association as an identity. So for example, in our language, Western culture, like in our society, will say things like, I'm angry, or I'm sad, or I'm happy, or I'm excited, right? All of those things, good and less, not less good, but less fun. Being sad is not as fun as being happy and excited, at least for most people. The language of I am, first of all, I am is said to be one of the most, if not the most powerful sentence in language. And so to say I am, you are making a self-declaration and you are attaching your identity with it. So I am sad means that, in another way of saying it, is you are claiming sadness as your identity, which can help in keeping you in the sadness, can help in like just staying stuck in a lower frequency emotion that you might not necessarily choose or want to consciously stay stuck in. And then the same is true in the positive, right? Like if it's kind of like the same thoughts of if you're, somebody said to me once, if somebody tells me that I look like crap that day, that it'll ruin her whole day. Just like if somebody tells her that she looks great, it'll create the best day for her, right? And that's giving so much power away. So it's kind of that same mindset of when you are feeling something, remembering that you are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not even the actions and the choices that you make today. You are the culmination of all of that, and you are what you choose. Last Friday, so if you're interested, go look at that recording from that session, available on YouTube, LinkedIn, and anywhere podcasts are streamed. We talked about choosing our identity, because what got you here isn't going to be what gets you to the next levels, right? So what does it look like to actually choose who you want to be, being you on purpose? Part of that is disassociating from your emotions. And what I mean by disassociating from your emotions is essentially exactly what I'm saying is, don't make your emotions your identity. I'm not saying don't feel. That is never what I am saying. I am not saying avoid, suppress, repress, bypass your emotions. That is never what I am saying. I am saying the simple language tweak of I am sad versus, okay, what's the versus? Versus sadness is with me. I can feel sadness is present. I can feel anger arising, right? What we're doing there is we are fully accepting what is. We are fully accepting the emotion and the energy of that emotion in the present moment, but we are not declaring it the identity of who you are. And so in that case, you get to disassociate and unidentify. That's what I mean by disassociate. Not avoid, not suppress, not bypass, but unidentify or disidentify, whatever the right way of saying that is. So that allows you, and we do this in our practice, in our daily drop-in practices. I bring you regularly through, bring your awareness with your breath down to your sit bones. Notice the sensations of the seat against your body, right? That is bringing your awareness out of your brain, out of your mind, and into somewhere else. So you were practicing in that simple practice, you're practicing where you choose to put your awareness. Then we bring it up and we put our awareness in our heart space and in our gut space, right? Activating those intelligence centers. So the same is true with the emotion when we are feeling something, because sometimes what we feel can be so big and so powerful and so overpowering that sometimes it can feel like it's swallowing us whole, or we're stuck in it. And that is counterproductive. That is not a productive place for leaders to be. What's really productive is being able to feel the full spectrum of your emotionality, of your emotions, of your human, right? Of the experience of being human, but not allow it to take over your system and create this identity. It's even like, it goes back to identity from last week, but it's even like some people who will say, I am just a nervous person. Okay, that could be true today, but it doesn't have to be true tomorrow, unless you choose it to be true, unless you want it to be true. But the language and how you phrase that, I am a nervous person, or I am an anxious person, is a self-declaration of an identity versus, I often notice that anxiety comes easily to me. Or I can often easily become or put myself in or find myself in a nervous state. You are then, in doing that, you are creating this disassociation, this unidentification of who you are and what your emotional experience is. And that, in and of itself, is extremely powerful. And then also, in the moment, when you have a really big important thing that you need to do, or a thing that you need to lead, and you are overcome with emotion, it's not about saying, oh, I'm not gonna listen to this now, or like, I don't have time for this. It's no, oh, isn't it interesting? You'll notice that I always say that. Isn't it interesting that this emotion and the energy of this is arising within me? And when you, and we're gonna practice this today, when you do a drop-in, coherence drop-in, we practice the awareness piece, right? Choosing our awareness. We can actually go inwardly, and feel into the emotion that we're feeling, and feel into the space between that emotion and who we are. And in that practice, what you're doing is you are healthily experiencing the emotion, the energy of what's happening, right? The physiology and all the things that are happening in your body, without declaring that it is who you are, so that you don't get stuck in it. So this is Buddhist influenced language and mindfulness traditions. This is based off of that. It's also used in psychology. Hold on, let me get my notes. It's also used in psychology as a self-distancing and a decentering practice. Does this make sense? What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts, and your questions, obviously. So what I want to do, I want to get into the coherence drop-in today, and I want to practice this. So before we get into the coherence drop-in today, kind of feeling into where you are, like emotionally right now. How do you feel this morning? What is present with you this morning? And what a beautiful thing to be able to say, I notice sadness is present with me. It's like, I don't know about you, but for me, when I say that, because I'm feeling X, or sadness is present with me, or anger is arising within me, it kind of makes it feel like it's like this non-merging, and it makes it feel like there's a presence with me that is not me. Now that presence might be very powerful, it might be very overpowering in the moment, like I might feel it in a big way, might have big emotions, but it's this memory, this remembrance of those emotions are not you. They do not define you. They are not your identity, and you are not at their mercy if you choose not to be. You can witness them. And that witnessing, that's the consciousness thing. That's the bringing your awareness thing. You're bringing your awareness out, and you're saying, oh, isn't it interesting? And you're witnessing the emotion. And it creates this distance so that you can more easily, more healthily process through the emotion with ease, rather than getting sucked into it and it kind of having this illusion of this is who you are. Whether it's this is who you are right now, or this is who you are regularly, whatever the case might be. So I want to practice this morning. So we're going to get into our morning coherence drop-in. And so for those of you who are new to this, welcome. This practice is a practice every morning that I show up and I do with you for 10 minutes. That's it. You can gift yourself this extremely powerful 10 minutes. And it's recentering yourself. So it's getting out of the logical, analytical mind, because that's where worry and stress and anxiety and survival, right? Fear, all these things exist. That's where they take places within the logical brain. And getting into the body, where you can find safety, where you can find calm, where you can find equanimity, which I've talked about in a different session, and that peace, that clarity, so that you can come back to your thoughts with deeper wisdom, in deeper alignment, with peace, with a regulated nervous system and a regulated emotional system, so that you can lead your day in more coherence, in more regulation, in more resonance, in your true power, and not kind of be at the mercy of all of those overwhelming thoughts that come with being alive, being an adult, being a leader in today's world. So all this is sitting for 10 minutes. So if you are driving, please don't do this. Come back to the recording, LinkedIn, YouTube, and anywhere podcasts are streamed at a time where you can sit down and do this. You're going to shut down your eyes and you're just going to breathe and you're going to follow my voice. It's the breath is the halo active breath. So it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's all you have to do, following my voice and remembering that this is your experience. This is your experience in creating a deeper connection with your body. Your body has access to infinite wisdom. And so even if I invite you to go somewhere with your breath, there's Kiara at the door. Even if I invite you to go somewhere with your breath and your body's like, it feels better if I do this, your body knows the answers. Let it guide you. Let that be an invitation to strengthen the connection with it. Your body always knows the way. It's a matter of, are you able to hear it and listen to it? So this is a practice in that. Okay, let's get into this morning's coherence drop-in. Shutting down your eyes, turning down distractions, shutting off distractions. We are taking 10 minutes. That's it. You can grant yourself 10 minutes, and I promise it'll be worth it. So, turning off distractions, closing down your eyes, or just softening your gaze, like kind of lowering your gaze down to the floor and letting it be soft. And let's start that breath pattern. So it's the halo active breath. It's in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just keeping that breath flowing at a pace that feels good and comfortable to you. And on your next exhale, whenever that is, breathing out through the mouth, let's follow that breath, follow it with your awareness, with your consciousness. Follow that breath as you breathe out. Breathe out through deepening into your belly, like exhaling all of that air out through your chest, through your belly. Follow that breath down, and then bring your awareness down to your sit bones. So wherever you happen to be seated, keeping that breath flowing in through the nose and out through the mouth, feeling into the sensation of the seat that you're sitting on against your skin. What do you notice? Do you notice that you're uncomfortable or tense and you want to loosen up a little bit and just kind of sink into that seat more? Do you notice that you need to shift a little bit to get really comfortable? Do you just notice the sensations of the seat against your body? What do those sensations feel like? Just getting curious and noticing what you notice. There's absolutely no wrong answer. Noticing as you notice, noticing how the seat that you're sitting on, it's got you. It's not going to drop you. Which means that if it feels good to you, to really just sink in and get comfortable and still and offload all your tension and all that extra weight that you carry on your shoulders. If you want to just give that to the seat, it's not going to mind, and it's not going to drop you. It's going to be able to hold it. Which means that you, in this moment, are safe, welcome, and free to just be present and to breathe. And on your next inhale through the nose, let's follow that breath up with our awareness. So let's follow that breath up, pulling it up through the sit bones, up the belly, and landing into your heart space, into your chest area. And if it's helpful to you to feel sensations, to bring your awareness to someplace consciously, then bring a hand to your heart. And as you inhale through the nose, what we're doing here is we're bringing that breath in from the heart space. So mechanically, you're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. But what we're feeling into is, what does it feel like to bring that breath in, to pull that breath in through your heart space, to open up your chest cavity, to imagine your heart's electromagnetic fields expanding past your bodily border and just bringing in that life force that is your breath, allowing it to feel so good, bringing it in through your heart. And then with every exhale through the mouth, you're then taking that breath from your heart. If it feels good, bring a hand to your belly and letting that breath sink you deeper and deeper into the belly, feeling it drop into your solar plexus, into your belly, into safety, into the home that is your body. So that's the practice. It's in through the nose, opening up that heart space, pulling that breath in through the heart, out through the mouth, taking that breath from the heart and cycling it into the safety, the calm, the comfort, the relaxation of your belly. And keep that breath flowing. And then when you're ready, keeping that breath flowing, in through the nose, opening up the heart, out through the mouth, into the belly. Invitation to feel into, just with your awareness, kind of just asking yourself the question of what is present with me right now? Is it an emotion? Or is it thoughts? Whatever you notice, there is no wrong answer. Keeping that breath flowing. Whatever you notice, simply notice it. Isn't it interesting that X, insert in the blank, is present with me right now? Maybe it's bodily sensations, maybe it's an emotion, maybe it's thoughts, whatever it might be. But what we're doing by the simple act of noticing, notice as you notice how when you notice the thing that's present with you, if you are able to notice it, that means that it is not you. If you can notice it, you are the thing, you are the awareness that is noticing it. Keep that breath flowing. You are the awareness that is noticing what is present. Therefore, what is present is not you. It is simply present with you. And as you notice this, what do you notice? There's a lot of the word noticing today, and that's okay. Keep that breath flowing. And we're just getting curious in this practice. And any time that you start thinking or, kind of getting back into your thoughts, and you notice that you're doing that, just come back to your breath, in through the nose, letting that chest open up, expand, pulling that breath in, that life force in through your chest, out through the mouth, allowing yourself to sink into your belly, into the comfort, the safety, the relaxation of your body. And then bring your awareness back. What's present with you in this moment? And isn't it interesting? Last few moments of breath. Continuing to notice, to explore, open curiosity here. It's such a powerful thing to be able to do. And the more we practice this, the more we realize that we are our awareness, and we can bring our awareness wherever we choose to. We can bring it to the heart as we open up and expand through the heart and pull that breath in. We can also bring it to our nostrils and feel that sensation of the air coming in through our nose. And we can bring it out, feeling the breath leave the body and dropping into the belly. You can notice the energy, the emotion, the thoughts. Whatever you are noticing them because you are your awareness, not the thing that you are noticing. And the more that we practice this, the more you're able, in moments that are challenging, whether that's thoughts that begin to spiral, anxiety, worry, stress, fear, sadness, anger, jealousy, whatever it might be, we can then choose to remember that, oh, isn't it interesting that I'm feeling these things, that I'm having these thoughts? And the second we remember that, we create this healthy disassociation, this non-identity. And it reminds us, it reminds you how much power you actually have. and that you have the power to choose your thoughts, how you feel, your awareness, all the things, every moment and every breath. So in our last moment of breath, bringing a hand to your heart, let's take a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for this skill, gratitude for awareness. Gratitude to our bodies, and gratitude to you for choosing to take these 10 minutes to do something that might be different, to choose how you want to show up and how you want to step into the rest of your day. Last moment of breath, and when you're ready, wiggling your fingers and your toes and coming back to the screen and sharing, if you would like to, how that felt for you. What did you notice? Did you notice anything? I would love to hear. You can put it in the comments, in the chat. You can also send me a message, a private message. But it's such a powerful reminder, remembrance, thing to remember that you are your awareness. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are not the actions and the choices that you make that you may not be proud of. You get to choose to begin again in every moment. And you get to choose to disassociate, disidentify, not bypass, not avoid, not suppress, but just take your awareness out and go, oh, isn't it interesting that I have these thoughts right now, that these thoughts are coming to me, or that this emotion is present with me. And as you do that, just practicing creating spaciousness between who you actually are, which is your awareness, and what you're witnessing. Because if you can witness it, you are not it and it is not you. You are the witnesser. You are the awareness. And when we can remember that, we then get to remember how much power, how much agency you actually have in every moment. And what I like to do personally is, especially when it's in a challenging moment in my life or in my day, it's a challenging emotion or whatever it might be, I like to feel so grateful in my witnessing when I pull myself away and I feel into the spaciousness that divides who I am, the awareness, and what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking or whatever is happening. I then like to go to gratitude personally and be so grateful that I'm alive to be feeling it. Because bigger perspective is that's true. We are alive, we are human, and we have this beautiful gift of feeling an array of emotions that make up the human experience. And that can also help in giving perspective in what actually matters, what's actually important. The fleeting thought and feelings and stuff of the moment can become our whole life, sure. It can take us downhill, take us in a negative downward spiral, sure. But that's your choice if it does. Because you can also remember that you are not them and they are not you. And that you have power, you have agency because you are the awareness. And you get to choose for yourself what you're thinking, how you process through your emotions, and then how you raise your vibrations and re-choose what you're stepping into alignment, stepping into coherence, stepping into true resonance, remembering what's real, what's important, what's actually true. That's all for you to choose. And part of the skill of that is learning, remembering to disidentify with how you're feeling and what's happening and what's going on. And no judgment. Isn't it interesting that this is present with me right now? What do you notice about it? And then back to gratitude for the experience of your humanity. Okay, with that, we are exactly at the half hour. Shauna writes, you have no idea how much that meant to me. I'm so glad. I am so glad. Remember to practice it. It's at your disposal, as is the recording. The recording from today, if ever you're like, oh, what did we do with Melissa that time? I want to be able to do that again. LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast. Just look for Melissa Agnes, Morning Lives with Melissa Agnes. And if this was beneficial to you, please share it with other leaders who will benefit from it. We need more leaders out in the world who are doing incredible things, who know how to access and utilize these skills. I wholeheartedly, with all of my being, know, not just believe, know that doing this, is part of what will help us make this world a better place, which means, to me, less pain and suffering for all. For all. Period. All right, with that, I will see you. Oh, thank you, Shauna says shared. Thank you, Shauna. I will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, for another morning live with me, Melissa Agnes, live streamed on LinkedIn and IG for another perspective shared and coherence drop in. I'm wishing you a beautiful day, and whenever you feel something today or think something and you're like, oh, isn't that interesting? Remember that it is not you and you are not it. You are the awareness that gets to witness it, process it, and then choose differently. Choose differently, if you so desire. All right, I'm wishing you a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.